Many are wondering which asset classes are a safe haven in these turbulent times. People typically turn to gold and silver, but the demand for copper is rising and could prove to be a profitable and sustainable place to invest. Hey everyone, this is William Dorr from Canaccord's Cash Manager Group. Copper has seen an increase in demand due to its use in green technology. Metal is used in electric vehicles, solar panels, wind turbines, and global demand for energy-efficient equipment is on the rise, with copper as a key source of energy storage. The good news is you don't need to buy physical copper to invest in commodity. ETFs, copper futures, and copper mining companies are all ways to invest and don't require any heavy lifting and still provide you with that exposure. Today, we'll be looking at one copper mining company in specific, First Quantum Minerals. But first, some important information. Our own Canaccord Genuity research views First Quantum Minerals as an appropriate option for those investors who are bullish on copper, given the company's strong 20-year track record and future growth opportunities. The Canadian-based mining company is the world's 6th largest copper producer and has operations in 9 countries. First Quantum Minerals has a commitment to the environment through their ESG practices. First Quantum Minerals produces 800,000 tons of copper per year and is on track to produce 1 million tons through their brownfield projects. The company is also focused on the future of sustainable energy transition, citing that much of the required new supply of copper will be sourced from emerging countries where First Quantum has extensive experience operating in. First Quantum recently released their earnings, and here to discuss them in the copper environment is Dalton Baretto, Managing Director, Equity Research, Metals and Mining at Canaccord Genuity.
Thanks for having me on. Copper is known as Dr. Copper. People say it's got a PhD in economics because it tends to foretell the economic future of the world. The copper price is down 24% this year, and it's actually down 30% from its peak in March. And that's no surprise, right? I mean, we've got slowing economies globally. We've got the Chinese economy facing all kinds of turbulence in its real estate industry and its manufacturing. And then you've got heightened volatility basically everywhere. You've got supply chain issues, you've got a strong US dollar, you've got the war in Ukraine, you've got the recent Taiwan challenges. So there's lots of uncertainty out there, and the copper price reflects this, and the copper equities reflect this. First Quantum is a premier copper equity, and it's down 40% this year. These near-term challenges, they mask what is going to be a generational opportunity, and that is the whole electrification and decarbonization of this planet. When you think about all the different avenues that the world is going to decarbonize down, the common denominator that touches all of these is wiring. And when you think wiring, you think copper. You need copper for pretty much everything. It is the only metal that touches every single one of these decarbonization initiatives. When we look at our estimates, we are going to need an incremental 4.5 million tons of copper, incremental, annually by the end of this decade. The other kind of crucial element that's emerged, I should say, this year, post the Ukraine war anyways, is we're seeing a move towards building strategic stockpiles of critical metals across the world. And no matter where you look on what countries list, copper is at or very near the top. I'll pause there and maybe move on to First Quantum. It is one of the go-to names in the copper space when you're looking at copper equities. It is, depending on how you count, the 5th or 6th largest copper producer on the planet. But off those top 5 or top 6, it is one of only 2 where the predominant revenue stream is copper. Very lean cost structure. It's got a very strong growth pipeline and a solid management team. The last quarter was tough. There's no getting around it, but it's been tough for everybody in the space. You've got high inflation, you've got supply chain issues. When I look across my coverage, First Quantum skated through probably better than most. And, they are poised for a pretty strong second half of this year and some decent expansionary growth over the next couple of years.
If you'd like additional details on First Quantum Minerals or how to invest in other copper and mining companies, call us at 604-643-0101 to speak with an investment advisor.